لجائحة كورونا تأثيرات على قطاعات عدة، والاقتصاد خير دليل. النظر إلى السوق يجعلنا نشعر بالقلق، فهل خلقت الجائحة فجوة بين الاقتصاد الحقيقي والأسواق؟ سؤال وجهته إلى عبدالقادر حسين، رئيس إدارة أصول الدخل الثابت في أرقام كابيتال.
Um, well, I think the way I would characterize it is that there is definitely a breakdown in the relationship between the real economy and the financial markets. So, you've had 2020 was a year when, that relationship completely, broke down. You've had a real economy that has suffered a severe recession, pretty much high unemployment globally, reduced GDP levels globally, and yet you've had financial markets that have had a great year across, pretty much the whole world, across different asset classes, equities, fixed income, credits, whatever you take it. The markets have been strong. So there is clearly a situation where that relationship has broken down, and historically, if you look at it, it's difficult to sustain that breakdown over long periods of time. So from that perspective, yes, I think that there are probably longer term risks that are building up at these levels. And it's something that we as investment managers have to continuously keep an eye on.
كما سألته عن كلفة التدخلات النقدية التي تضخ الأموال في الأسواق، ومتى سنبدأ دفع ثمنها.
If you look at it, we've never really exited QE. The Fed tried in 2013 with the whole taper tantrum. They basically tried to take the first steps towards exiting, non-conventional monetary policy. And you saw the impact that it had on the markets in 2013 was a pretty difficult year. And even though things stabilized and they did taper as Bernanke wanted to do at that point in time, there was a period where things were very painful. And I think so. I think that period is going to occur again. I think the timing is going to be, that's the key. I mean, I think if we all knew the timing, and when I mean timing, I mean the timing of when central banks are going to start reducing expansionary policy, when they're going to start reducing the buying of bonds. So basically the quantitative easing part of it. And I don't even think we need to wait till they start raising interest rates. I think we basically just, I think that at the point when we see the signals from the central bank that they are looking at tapering this monetary expansion, that is when the markets are going to be at their most vulnerable. And I think it goes back to the relationship between the real economy and the financial markets again, because what's going to happen at that point in time is that financial markets are going to become extremely vulnerable, but the real economy is probably going to be doing quite well. That's going to be the reason why central banks are going to look at reducing expansion. And at some point over the next couple of years, you're going to have a situation where you're going to have relatively decent economies, but potentially weak markets. And that period is, and in my view, you're going to have to go through that period to reestablish that connectivity between financial markets and the real economy. My view is that we potentially could have it a little bit sooner. So maybe late 21, early 22. But I think that's going to depend very much on how the whole vaccine situation and the COVID situation plays out over the next 6 months. I think if we are in a situation where we're looking at a resumption of some sort of normal business activity by the third quarter of this year, then maybe by the fourth quarter or the first quarter of next year, you'll see central banks start to get a little bit more defensive and start to change their tone. And I think the market is so sensitive to that point, is so looking so carefully at that signal, that the first little signal they get, I think you're going to have a pretty strong reaction.